It's About Time features dynamic women that will share the pivotal moments that changed their lives forever. From hilariously funny to gut-wrenchingly painful, from outlandish to acts of incredible bravery, each story will take you on an emotional journey. These are the moments that inspired us, captivated our minds, energized our souls, and motivated us to realize that this is our time. I'm Kelly Lamb, and I invite you to join us as we uncover the life-altering events that shaped who we are and fueled our pursuit of purpose. Let's celebrate the women, their resilience, strength, and the unique journeys that defines us as human beings. Hi, Angela. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad that you've taken the time to share your story with us, and just want to get to know a little bit more about you. So if you could introduce yourself and what inspires you each day.
I gotcha. So I'm Angela Skurtu, and I'm a licensed couples therapist and a certified sex therapist. And my tagline is that I help couples who are best friends take their relationship from the friend zone to the sexy zone by normalizing conversations about sex. I have 3 books. And what inspires me is just really that I get to change the sexual landscape with everything that I'm doing, with every client that I see, with the podcast that I run and the YouTube that I run, which is at Open Bedroom Doors, by the way. So I'm going to shamelessly plug it, of course.
Absolutely.
But everything I'm doing is teaching people to have a healthier relationship with sex. And right now, our country has a really unhealthy relationship with sex, and it's hurting so many people. So like really what inspires me is I really get to be in a space to prevent some of that harm and really change that landscape for future generations.
Yeah, it's so true. You never really think about that. If you have a healthy relationship, there is a lot going on out there, and it can be very, very confusing for the youth that are coming up because they're seeing so many things I'm sure they shouldn't see because of social media and they're learning the wrong way probably, right?
There's a huge problem going on, which is that we don't give any comprehensive sex education, and parents don't feel equipped to talk to their kids about sex. So
we don't want them to have it.
Well, I understand, but they're going to. Exactly. So what's ending up happening is
if we don't tell them, they won't do it?
No, they do it, and they do it in really dangerous ways. Yes. That's what's actually happening.
Yeah, you're right.
And so what I'm teaching people is like consent and how to have that conversation. Yeah. I'm normalizing conversations about sex across the lifespan. And I really am in a great space to help people change the way they're interacting with sex so that they can actually prevent trauma and abuse.
Sure, absolutely. So what inspired you to share this particular story? And I think I know why, for It's About Time.
Well, so this story is actually a different one that I chose.
Okay.
I chose to
share. What is the title?
It's my sobriety story.
Okay.
And so I've been sober now for 2 years on May 20th of 2025.
Congratulations on
Thank you. Yeah, no, it was a really big deal.
Choice.
And I realized that basically alcohol has just been numbing me for years, and it's really been getting in the way of my success and my joy. There's ways that I just didn't realize how much I was numbing, like all the time. And it was interesting. On the way over, I was listening to one of my favorite songs, Sober Up by AJR. And one of the lines is, growing up, it made me numb, and I want to feel something again. And when I started to get sober, I realized that I'd been numbing so long that I had lost touch with some of my feelings and some of my passion. And so the crazy thing is my sobriety story. So like it was 2 years ago, and about 1.5 years into being sober is when I really it was like I gave birth to this passion of I have to change everything. I have to change our relationship with sex. I have to get in there, and I can't keep cultivating smallness. There's so much help that people need in this way. And I don't know, it was interesting that I feel like sobriety is what helped me really ground in my passion for what I wanted to do. Yeah. You remember that episode on Matrix, that last scene where he goes into binary code and there's all these ones and zeros crossing the screen. That's what it felt like. I was like, oh my God, I know exactly what I need to do. And since then I have been charged with passion. I am ready to change this landscape with everything that I have. And what's crazy about it is it's excited. Even when I hit that self-doubt, which everybody in business, by the way, has these moments of am I doing this right?
Right.
The passion is so powerful that it drives me through it. And I really have sobriety to thank for that.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. So I would say you've kind of answered a little bit into the question, but was there a moment while you're writing the chapter when you felt emotional,
Yeah.
empowered, or even hesitant to tell this story?
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, yes. Actually, right now I'm in the middle of revising it because the first edit, I put out basically all the horror stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's value to that. But as I sent you an email the other
Sure.
day and I
Yep.
was like,
I need a minute.
I need to think about this because part of the sobriety story that I want to tell is how hard it is to take your last drink. So everybody talks about, I'm this many days sober, I'm this many days sober. And like when I took my last drink on May 19th, which is why my start date is the 20th, right, of like 2023. But I don't think we talk enough about how many years it takes to really take
Take that
the
first sip.
last drink, where
Wow.
you really are like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And so some of what I want to highlight in this story is the back and forth when you know it's a problem, but you keep like hemming and hawing over it, like I can do this, I can control it. I am so good at stuff like in business and in my personal life that like alcohol, I felt like I could control like some of the stuff I do in business. I was like, I got this. Like, why can't I control this? And of course, I'm a marriage and family therapist, right? So I have
Yeah.
all the skills. And I'm like, why can't I figure this out? I can help everybody do all these things, but I can't do this myself. And like, really, I had to come to terms with the fact that it's just an addiction. You don't
Yeah.
control addiction, and alcohol is addictive.
Sure.
It just is.
Yeah.
And so I hesitated on some of the horror stories. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to tell every one of those horror stories. But also, I really want to I want you all to know if you're in that process of like, should I not? Should I not? It took me probably 4 or 5 years of doing that before I really took my last drink. And I really think that it's important for us to share that part of the process so people
Yes.
don't feel so like alienated or like they're a failure or they're screwing, because like that's what I felt like. I was like, why can't I control this? And the reality is it's alcohol.
Yeah.
It's an addiction. You
So
just
many.
got to
I mean,
stop.
right. Absolutely. It's our, I mean, I'm always going to start my diet on Monday. I'm just cutting out sweets, so I can't imagine the other part, But so was May 19th a Monday? It always seems like it's a Monday to start everything.
I
Probably
don't
best if it's a Friday, I guess, right, for the
I
weekend.
think the 20th was a Sunday, but obviously it was after a big pivotal moment where I was like,
That's it.
I can't let this ruin my life
Well,
anymore,
good for you.
basically.
Good for you seeing the clarity. So with that, it didn't just change a season for you, it changed for the long haul.
Mhm.
And how did that moment when you made that change, which I think you have again answered in so many ways, but how did this change you for the long haul? What do you see now?
Well, I wasn't I wasn't happy. I didn't realize how unhappy I was and how numb. Like I used to believe that alcohol was the only way I could socialize or
Hmm.
alcohol was the only way to have fun. And it's funny, it's another line where like excuse me, there was this line in the song where he talks about like we smile at parties, but soon we forget to smile at anything else. And I that song Sober Up resonates with me so much because I realized that like that was the only time I was smiling was when I had a drink. And I've learned to have real joy now. And I've had to like relearn a lot of things about what joy really is to be fully present with my emotions. Crazy thing, when you open the door to one emotion, you open the door to all of them.
Yeah.
And so now I actually experience all my emotions more intensely and I genuinely appreciate that. But like even on the way here, I was listening to that song and crying, of course, because I'm like, I've really made it. I'm so grateful. Like you feel your feelings
Yeah.
intensely. And so it's wonderful. It's really moving to be in this space of true joy, but I realize how much alcohol stole my joy.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing such a deep story. And it will definitely resonate with so many people out there because we all know you're not alone. None of us are alone in the
Hmm.
suffering that we have. And so I'm so thankful that you found the clarity and your joy in life. And thank you so much, Angela, for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.